I just wanted to relax today, and then Nick Caserio had to go and do Nick Caserio things, and there's just boom, 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 transactions all over the place. Danielle Hunter extends his contract by 1 year. Remember last year, Danielle Hunter signed a 2-year, $49 million deal that was virtually completely guaranteed. It was a bit of a coup. The Texans didn't even know they were going to have a shot at him. They had already signed Danico Autry. Danielle Hunter wanted to come back to his hometown team, play for D'Amico Ryans. My big question, and I know a lot of you were really hopeful that the Texans would get something done with Danielle Hunter because he had 1 year left on that 2-year deal, and Myles Garrett just signed for $40 million per year. Danielle Hunter's only 1 year older than Myles Garrett, so we didn't know what kind of expectations Danielle Hunter had, whether he'd want to move to push it to free agency or what. He extended the deal. They added $35.6 million to the back end of the deal. He'll get a $12 million raise in 2025, which bumps his 2025 salary to $32 million. And in 2026, he'll earn the remainder of the extension. Texans cap, I don't have the screen cap. Texans cap said that they'll actually probably save some money this year. So I wasn't completely wrong earlier when I said that I didn't think the Titus Howard restructure probably had anything to do with Danielle Hunter's extension. I think they could have done Danielle Hunter's extension if they did indeed save money on the cap this year without Titus Howard. Of course, they also signed Cam Robinson today for a deal up to $14 million to play offensive tackle. I'll get to that in a little bit. I would have had this sooner, but I wanted to put together a little highlight reel for Danielle Hunter that won't get a copyright strike while we're on the live stream, so I'll play that in a moment. This is all cap stuff aside. I don't want to bury you in cap stuff, largely because I'm incompetent with the cap, but the commitment to a guy that came in and did every single thing that you would want him to do, especially in terms of being a mentor to Will Anderson, but also producing 12 sacks. He had the 5th most sacks in the league last year, had the highest pressure rate in the league, 2nd pressure rate in the league, according to Next Gen Stats. He was a huge part of the Texans having the 2nd most interceptions in the league, a boatload of turnovers. I mean, you watch so many of the interceptions. We were watching Derek Stingley interceptions earlier this week because it was just, 2 days ago that 1 day ago, it was yesterday. God, it's been a flurry that they re-signed, that they extended Derek Stingley's deal. Nick's doling out a whole lot of money, and I would include in that bringing in C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who's not super, super cheap or anything, to bolster a defense that was already really good, but now this solidifies it, hopefully, for a Danielle Hunter who's been very healthy in his career and is still relatively young. This is good news. This is really good news. It also reminds you that Nick Caserio is always working. Cam Robinson, I don't think is coming in to be the guaranteed starter or anything like that. They're filling in the holes on the offensive line and waiting to see what might else come up via trade. There's still a little thing called the draft to come, but I'm really happy that they figured this out with Danielle Hunter because he could have pushed it to free agency and probably gotten a really hefty payday, even at the age of 32 or 33. You look at the Bills have done in the last couple of years. The contract they gave Von Miller when he was already approaching his mid-30s. This is good. This is really, really good. I'm happy for what it means for the culture, for what it means for Will Anderson. Will Anderson elevated his game this year on the technical side of things and became a much more proficient player. I promised you highlights. I think these go from basically the most recent to the beginning of the season. The spin move here, the Euro steps that he was using. The man's a damn artist, and it's really fun to watch him work. I just can't speak highly enough about what a good example he sets for young guys on this team. Very, very, very happy about this. It doesn't do a damn thing to help the offensive line, but I also don't think that this is anything that in the short term is going to hurt the offensive line. Obviously, I think they could still trade for a veteran. They have enough cap room to do that. We have 10 picks in the first 4 rounds. The next 2 years, no need to trade back anywhere. Yeah, and Cam Robinson, he's not the answer, but he is at least a swing tackle. This is what's been annoying me today. Is you're taking the positivity of Danielle Hunter's magnificence, while I also tell you what's been annoying me. I saw all the real nerdy types on Twitter, the Ben Solaks of the world and whatnot, saying things like, you let go of Laramie Tunsil and you reload with Cam Robinson and Ed Ingram and Laken Tomlinson. No, you fill in holes, and then you try to build through the draft and perhaps a trade after the draft for a veteran player. We don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but these are stopgap/bridge maneuvers as you try to build a better offensive line. I think the amount of money they've spent on defense this week alone in bringing their own guys back, it speaks to the fact that this is D'Amico Ryan's team, and I don't think there's any part of D'Amico that thinks, defense is pretty good last year, just clean up a couple things and that'll be good enough. He's not going to be. I don't think he's going to be a boring defensive coach that never has a good offense. I don't think it's going to be like Lovie Smith was with the Bears, but they're not going to relax. They're going to keep pushing the pedal to the metal on defense, try to force a lot of turnovers every single year. The biggest thing with the defense last year, they were in terms of yards allowed, they were, I want to say they ended up fifth in the league, but they were middle of the pack in terms of points allowed. A lot of that's because of youth in the secondary. The mental errors or just rookie-like play at times out of Kalen Bullock and Kamari Lassiter, who are awesome by rookie standards. That's got to clean up. But bringing in a veteran in C.J. Gardner-Johnson, those two young guys have another year of experience, and then having a pass rush up front, I feel very, very good about the defense. And I remember Mark Brunell telling me one time, what the best two things that a young quarterback can have are A, a running game, and B, a good defense on the other side. A defense that can bail your quarterback or your offense out at times, a guy that doesn't put too much pressure on them. I think they have that, or they will have it if they can clean up some of the big chunk plays that they gave up on defense. But this is a good. I feel good about this. I'm feeling they draft at least one offensive lineman, and probably in the first round. When you watch those highlights there of Danielle Hunter, I can't say enough how much I appreciate the approach they took on defense this year. You have Danico Autry, who I know didn't play much, and hopefully he's healthy, and hopefully he's not suspended next year. But you have him. You had Danielle Hunter. You had Jerry Hughes was still in the building. You had a lot of older guys who were really technically sound that I think were an awesome influence on Will Anderson. And Will Anderson's just going to continue to keep getting better and better. I expect that after I go to bed very soon, very early wake up for me, watch this on Payne and Pendergast in the morning, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect. Thank you, Nick Caserio, for helping me forget about Jose Altuve's drop in the outfield yet again. It's going to get better. We got to have fun with Jose. Got to have